The Trentino region of northern Italy at its capital, Trento. A spectacular backdrop for a true legend of motorsports history, the majestic Bentley 4.5 liter. To start up, first you have to press these two buttons to bring the ignition magnetos into the right position. Then you turn on the gasoline pump and use the levers to adjust the hand throttle in pre-ignition. The tension mounts as Christoph gets ready to roll. Oh dear. But Christoph gives it another go. Back in the Roaring Twenties. Almost a century ago, this nimble 2-ton giant was a favorite toy among playboys. Powered by a monster engine, it makes every second on the road an adventure, and every curve a hair raiser.
There's no replacement for displacement. Heißt übersetzt.
Indeed. The words of none other than Walter Owen Bentley, known as W.O. The engineer and founder of the car company had little time for factors, such as vehicle weight, air resistance, or comfortable handling. If a car was too slow, the answer was a bigger engine. And in the case of Bentley, those power plants went up to 8 liters.
Und das geht rauf bis zu 8 Litern Hubraum.
The unit inside the Bentley 4.5 liter packed just the 4 cylinders, but a capacity of 4.4 liters. Its 110 horsepower could take the mean machine to a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour. By 1927 standards, an out-of-this-world figure. Motorsports and luxury were perfectly compatible for Bentley, explains Christoph. That meant the battleships made in Cricklewood, London, had to do the business on the racetrack too. In the mid-1920s, Bentley's 3-liter model had won the 24-hour Le Mans twice, but was no longer cutting edge. The more modern but awfully heavy 6.5-liter model went through tires quicker than you could change them. Bentley's solution? Cutting 2 cylinders out of the 6.5 liter. And a legend was born, the Bentley 4.5 liter.
Der legendäre Bentley 4,5 Liter.
The Bentley 4.5 liter was made for Le Mans. The no-nonsense beefcake gritted its way around lap after lap. Wolf Benato and Bernard Rubin took turns at the wheel, 2 of the famous club of wealthy motorists known as the Bentley Boys. After 24 hours and almost 2,700 kilometers at full throttle, the Bentley crossed the line in first, despite suffering a broken chassis. A triumph for the prestigious British brand. An original Bentley 4.5 liter will easily set you back €1 million plus today. It comes with fully adjustable friction dampers, headlights with stone guards, and tiny windshields. The drum brakes on all 4 wheels are not that effective, while the small leather-clad seats offer little in the way of lateral support. The cord-wrapped steering wheel would look at home on an ocean liner bridge, and it takes some muscle to operate.
Na, ist das ein Monster?
Wow. The cast iron engine alone weighs about as much as a modern small car. Mr. Bentley started out as a locomotive designer, of course. 4 cylinders, a 4.4-liter displacement, 110 horsepower. It all looks a bit old-fashioned now, but this car was ahead of its time. Christoph recalls the 16-valve label turning up in the 1980s. Here, 4 cylinders with 4 valves each equals 16 valves, 60 years before the likes of the Golf. This Bentley has 4 extra ignition plugs on board. It wasn't until the 1930s that high-performance cars no longer needed pre-ignition plugs. The Bentley 4.5 liters engine generates up to 4,000 RPM, but even at minimal revs, this awesome beast of yesteryear pumps out a monumental torque. A pre-war Bentley looks like a relic from a bygone era when brute force ruled, a dinosaur in the evolution of sports cars.
Pure Mechanik in Zaum gehalten wurde. ein Dinosaurier des Automobilbaus sozusagen. Aber
But nonetheless, this British bulldog had some pretty sophisticated engineering. The Bentley 4.5 liter is indisputably a milestone in automotive history.
der Automobilgeschichte.
Unfortunately, the Bentley 4.5 liter has always been an all too rare sight. Production between 1927 and 31 totaled 50 blower models, and just 668 regular editions of this iconic beast.